Today we're talking about something incredibly important: your health. Specifically, we're diving deep into the often silent but serious world of pancreatic disease. The pancreas plays a critical role in our bodies, and recognizing the early warning signs of potential problems is crucial. Early detection can truly be life-saving when it comes to pancreatic disease. We're going to explore signs that you absolutely shouldn't ignore. Let's get started. Let's talk about abdominal pain. Persistent abdominal pain, especially the kind that wraps around you, radiating to your back, that's a major red flag. Imagine this: your pancreas, nestled behind your stomach, is inflamed. That inflammation can press on surrounding nerves, sending pain signals not just to your abdomen but also straight to your back. It's like a persistent ache that just won't quit. Now, this pain might worsen after meals, especially if you're indulging in fatty foods. If you're experiencing this kind of relentless abdominal pain, especially with that telltale back radiation, it's time to see a doctor. Don't wait for it to get worse. Pay attention to your body's signals and don't hesitate to seek professional help if something feels off. Let's talk about a symptom that's hard to miss: jaundice. That yellowing of the skin and the whites of your eyes can be a sign that something's off in your body, and yes, it could be linked to your pancreas. When your pancreas is inflamed or if a tumor is blocking the bile duct, bilirubin can build up in your blood, and guess what? That buildup leads to jaundice. So if you notice your skin taking on a yellowish hue or if the whites of your eyes are looking a little too bright, don't ignore it. It could be a sign of a problem with your pancreas, especially if it's accompanied by other symptoms like abdominal pain, dark urine, or light-colored stools. Jaundice is one of those symptoms that's hard to ignore, and that's a good thing. It's your body's way of waving a giant flag and saying, hey, something's not right. So listen to your body and get it checked out. We all dream of effortlessly shedding those extra pounds, right? But what happens when the scale starts tipping downwards without any effort on your part? That, my friends, is called unexplained weight loss, and it's not the kind of weight loss you want to celebrate. In fact, it can be a red flag for a number of health issues, including pancreatic disease. When it comes to the pancreas, unexplained weight loss can be a sign that something is interfering with its ability to produce those digestive enzymes we talked about earlier. Without those enzymes, your body can't properly break down food and absorb nutrients, leading to weight loss and malnutrition. But here's the thing: unexplained weight loss is rarely the only symptom of pancreatic disease. It's often accompanied by other red flags like abdominal pain, jaundice, or changes in bowel habits. So, if you notice the pounds melting away without any explanation, don't just chalk it up to a sudden burst of metabolism. Get yourself to a doctor and get checked out. We all have those days when our appetite takes a nosedive, right? Maybe we're stressed, coming down with something, or simply not in the mood for food. But what happens when that loss of appetite becomes a regular occurrence, lingering for days or even weeks on end? That, my friends, is not something to ignore. It could be a sign of something more serious going on beneath the surface, and yes, it could be linked to your pancreas. And when that happens, your body might not be able to signal hunger as effectively, leading to a decreased appetite. Loss of appetite, especially when it's persistent and accompanied by other symptoms like unexplained weight loss, abdominal pain, or jaundice, is a definite red flag. So listen to those hunger cues, or rather, the lack thereof, and don't hesitate to seek medical attention if you're concerned. We've all been there, right? That queasy feeling in the pit of your stomach, the urge to hurl, the general misery that comes with nausea and vomiting. But what happens when those feelings become a regular occurrence, a persistent shadow following you through your days? That, my friends, is when you need to pay attention, because it could be a sign of something more serious brewing beneath the surface, and yes, it could be linked to your pancreas. When your pancreas is inflamed, or if a tumor is obstructing the flow of those digestive juices, it can wreak havoc on your digestive system. Food might not be properly broken down, leading to indigestion, bloating, and yes, you guessed it, nausea and vomiting. If you're experiencing frequent bouts of nausea and vomiting, especially if they're accompanied by other red flags like abdominal pain, weight loss, or jaundice, don't just reach for the Pepto-Bismol and hope for the best. It's time to schedule a visit with your doctor and get to the bottom of what's going on. Let's talk about fatigue, that relentless exhaustion that seems to seep into your very bones, that feeling of being utterly drained no matter how much sleep you manage to squeeze in. But what happens when that fatigue becomes a constant companion, a shadow that follows you through your days, making even the simplest tasks feel like monumental efforts? That, my friends, is when you need to listen to your body because it's trying to tell you something. And believe it or not, that something could be related to your pancreas. When your pancreas isn't functioning optimally, perhaps due to inflammation, a tumor, or another underlying condition, it can disrupt the production of these essential enzymes. And when that happens, your body might not be able to properly break down food and absorb nutrients, leading to fatigue and weakness. If you're experiencing persistent, unexplained fatigue, the kind that lingers for weeks or even months on end, don't just brush it off as a sign of being overworked or stressed out. It's worth having a conversation with your doctor, especially if it's accompanied by other red flags like abdominal pain, weight loss, or changes in bowel habits. Okay, guys, I know this might not be the most glamorous topic, but trust me, it's important. We're talking about changes in your stool. Yes, you heard that right. I know it's not something we usually discuss over dinner, but paying attention to what's going on in the porcelain throne can actually give you valuable insights into your health, especially when it comes to your pancreas. When your pancreas isn't functioning properly, those enzymes might not be produced in sufficient quantities, and that's when you might start noticing changes in your stool. One of the most common changes is steatorrhea, which is a fancy medical term for fatty stools. Basically, your stool might become pale, oily, greasy, and foul-smelling. Another change to watch out for is diarrhea. If you're experiencing frequent, loose, watery stools, especially if they're accompanied by abdominal pain or weight loss, it could be a sign that your pancreas isn't absorbing nutrients properly. So pay attention to what's going on down there, and don't hesitate to talk to your doctor if you notice anything unusual. We're about to dive into a sign that's particularly concerning when it comes to pancreatic disease new onset diabetes. This is a danger sign you need to be aware of. The pancreas plays a vital role in regulating blood sugar levels. When your pancreas isn't functioning properly, perhaps due to inflammation or a tumor, it can disrupt insulin production, leading to a spike in blood sugar levels. If you're diagnosed with diabetes out of the blue, especially if you don't have any of the typical risk factors like obesity or a family history of the disease, it's essential to rule out any potential pancreatic issues. This is especially true if you're experiencing other symptoms like unexplained weight loss, abdominal pain, or jaundice. So if you notice any of the classic symptoms of diabetes such as increased thirst, frequent urination, blurred vision, or slow-healing sores, don't delay seeking medical attention. Let's talk about blood clots, a topic that might seem completely unrelated to pancreatic disease, but trust me, there's a connection. Pancreatic cancer in particular has a sneaky way of increasing your risk of developing blood clots. It's thought that substances released by the tumor can make your blood more likely to clot, and that can spell trouble. Blood clots can form in different parts of your body, but one of the most concerning is deep vein thrombosis, DVT, where a clot forms in a deep vein, usually in the legs. These clots can break loose and travel to the lungs, causing a pulmonary embolism, which is a life-threatening condition. If you're experiencing symptoms like swelling, pain, or tenderness in your legs, especially if it's accompanied by warmth or redness, don't ignore it. It could be a sign of DVT, and it's crucial to seek medical attention immediately. Let's talk about something that might surprise you: the connection between depression and pancreatic disease. Now, we often think of depression as a purely mental health issue, but the reality is, it's far more complex than that. When it comes to the pancreas, research suggests that there might be a link between pancreatic cancer in particular and an increased risk of depression. One theory is that the tumor itself might release substances that interfere with brain chemistry, leading to mood changes and depression. Another possibility is that the stress and anxiety associated with a cancer diagnosis can contribute to feelings of hopelessness and despair. If you're experiencing symptoms of depression such as persistent sadness, loss of interest in activities you used to enjoy, changes in appetite or sleep patterns, or feelings of worthlessness or guilt, don't brush it off. It's essential to seek professional help, especially if you've been diagnosed with pancreatic disease or have any other underlying health conditions. Remember, taking care of your mental health is just as important as taking care of your physical health. So there you have it, 10 warning signs of pancreatic disease that you absolutely shouldn't ignore. Remember, early detection can make all the difference when it comes to your health. By paying attention to your body's signals and seeking medical attention promptly, you're taking a proactive approach to your well-being. If you're experiencing any of the symptoms we've discussed, please don't hesitate to consult a healthcare professional. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, stay healthy and take care.